Hi there, blessings, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Lady Drasmin and today is July 15th. Today is July 15th, going live here on TikTok. See who wants to join in live today. And if you are catching the replay, welcome to the replay. I am Lady Drasmin. This is Dragom Oracle. Thank you to all my continued subscribers. Thank you to all who are new. Thank you for your comments, your likes, your subscribes, your donations. Deeply appreciated and received. Evelyn, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's drop into this present moment with 3 cleansing breaths. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. One more inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. 2 more. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Welcome to today's circle. Welcoming in the guides, angels, ancestors, ascended masters, council of the utmost high. Hi, Veronica. Welcome for being here. Thank you for joining to live today. So what is coming up this week? So later this week, we have a full moon. I did not cut my hair. I'm growing out these sides so that I can pull it up, but it's in that awkward phase where it's just kind of like, you know, too short to pull up, but not long enough. You know, it's just doing its own thing right now. So I have it styled a different way. Thanks for asking. I know, right? It's so silly. Like, come on, grow already, damn it. So, you know, I have just given up. I'm like, I'm just going to be awkward for a minute. My favorite animal. So Carlin over here, Carolyn is asking me about, I think she's asking my favorite, they're asking my favorite animal. Are we talking like real life animal or mythical creature? Because it's hard to pick a favorite animal. We've got bird creatures, we've got land creatures, we've got underground creatures, we've got water creatures. But if I had to choose, I'm gonna go with the top 3. Whales. Oh my gosh, the whales, they just like speak to my soul. I love the whales. Oh my gosh, I just want to like lay on a whale and just give it pets. Probably like knock my ass off, right? What happened to my phone? What you talking about? What you mean what happened to my phone? I'm on my phone. I'm streaming on my phone. Elaine, thanks for joining. What happened to my face? I don't know. What's wrong with my face? Is there just too much beauty on my face? What's happening? What's going on? Did I just like glow up way too much overnight? I mean, I was listening to affirmations and subliminals all night. Okay, so let's drop into today's checking, okay? Light worker, energy worker, what is going on in the collective? Okay, so the big question that's been coming up for so many of us who are on this path, you know, to be the way showers, okay? This check-in is for the way showers. This is not a regular like, oh, you know, how's my love life doing? Your love life is fine, okay? We're here to talk about your soul. So there is this shift that's happening within the collective right now where way-showers are being asked to step more and more into integrity, okay? Like, it is essential that you stand in your truth. It is essential that you trust that you are being led. I'll give you an example. My current situation, you know, I thought I was going to move yesterday and I didn't. Okay, like, I don't know if you can see behind me. These are all my bins. They're like all packed. Okay, I got a couple more bins around the corner. But like, everybody's like, where are you going? I'm like, I don't know. How are you getting there? I don't know. Well, what's your plan? Divine trust. Okay, so this is what's being asked for many of the Wayshowers, especially if you're going through transition right now, especially if you are feeling that push forward. You are being asked to be ready to step into that role of leadership, to step deeper into your role of leadership. Okay, it's like if you are feeling the call to go somewhere or to do something, start taking aligned action. Stop waiting for all the pieces to click into place. Okay, it's almost like a painting. Okay, like, and I'm using this metaphor because I was a painter, I was an artist for 10 years. I'm still an artist, just a different kind of medium now. And when the muse talks to me, and I've also noticed this with many other artists, okay, when the muse communicates, she's not going to give you the whole picture. Okay, she's going to say, go buy a canvas. And then you go to the store and you find a round canvas. You're like, okay, I don't see the bigger picture, but that's what the muse said to do. So you go buy a round canvas. Then she's like, okay, now bury it in the ground for 3 weeks. You're like, what the fuck? Okay, you do it anyway. So the point is, you get the pieces, and then when it all comes together, you're like, oh my gosh, wow. But if you had gotten all the pieces ahead of time, you might have gotten overwhelmed. So the deeper underlying message that's coming through is sometimes we are not given the bigger picture because we are being tended to gently. Like God, Goddess, the universe knows that if they just give you everything right now, it'll send you into system overload. You're just be like, oh my God, I don't know what to do it. Your old trigger responses are going to come up. You're going to shut down, go back into fright, flight, freeze, fawn, and the life is ever conspiring in your favor. The universe wants to support your growth, but also wants to be gentle with you with the process. So yeah, Yoshi's like, my brain is on overload, right? So it's like, if you're already feeling overloaded and overwhelmed, the universe isn't going to send you more things. It's going to hold off and say, hey, hold on a second. This person needs to chill out. They need to go take a nap. They need to do some serious self-care. They need to go out to the woods for a day. Whatever it is that you need to do to come back to your state of inner peace and stillness. So the biggest thing that you can do at this time to support yourself is really just sit down. And that's like, sometimes like, wait, what? You want me to sit down and meditate? You want me to sit down and do nothing? Girl, I got a lot of things to do. I got to get a job. I got to get an apartment. I got to do this and that and this and that. I got a download last week about the completion timeline. As long as we are in the mindset of I need blank, whatever, that construct I need is keeping you locked in lack. Is keeping you locked in not having. And that's not the frequency you want to be in. You want to be in the frequency of I have it already. It's already there for me. It's on its way to me. Okay? I'm just over here having my popcorn, watching the drama unfold, but my bags are packed. I know that God's got my back, and I know that everything's going to line up even if it's last minute. And angels, can we please not do this last minute shit? Because that is stressful, okay? Like, I've been having a couple of talks with God over the past week. Like, they're asking me to, like, step into these deeper, bigger roles of leadership. And last week I was like, nah, no. I'm not going to do any more live events in person for my community until I'm home. And I've got a moment to rest. We have to communicate our boundaries, our needs, and we also have to trust that we are being heard, and we have to take aligned action, right? We can't say, oh, I'm going to surrender this to God and then keep searching. For example, it's like you are calling in a very specific job, okay? A type of job, and you're not exactly sure what you're going to do, but you have an idea of what it's going to feel like. So you put some feelers out there, and then now you gotta wait. But instead of waiting, you're still putting feelers out there. You're like overwhelming the system, okay? The overwhelm works both ways. Not saying that God gets overwhelmed, but it's like you're confusing the system. It's like you want this, and then you want that, and then you want this, and then you're not sure, and then the doubt creeps in, and then the paranoia creeps in, and then the anxiety creeps in. It's like, no, you got to stay really clear and focused. If you're feeling burnout, if you're feeling overwhelmed, go and get in touch with nature. Okay? Because this is the work, especially through the rest of the year, is building the spiritual stamina. Okay? Building the spiritual stamina is your current assignment. And there might be things that you do need to do in the physical to continue to stay in alignment and to continue the momentum, right? You don't want to get into stagnation either. You want to continue the momentum. But sometimes the momentum looks like taking a nap. Sometimes the momentum looks like going on adventure. Okay? I went on a couple of adventures last week and I was just like, I don't got time to party. Like, I got housing to take care of. It's like, no, here's a gift. Here's a ticket to go to this all-day adventure. Here is a car ride to go to the woods for a day. So I'm like, all right, let's go. Okay? Did I come back to clarity and answers? Well, no, but I came back with more peace in my heart, right? And so this is what we're being asked to do. In this waiting period, we are being asked to build our spiritual stamina, okay? Building spiritual stamina is, look, Justice card, number 11, is the balancing of the scales, okay? In today's culture, in today's world, there is an emphasis on instant gratification. The divine doesn't work like that, okay? Mother Nature doesn't work on instant gratification. It's like, oh, you want those berries? Where you're going to have to wait a few months, sometimes a few years for the plant to grow and give you its fruit. Okay? So it's like if you have a big dream, a big vision, then it's going to take longer to actualize in the physical world, and you just have to keep showing up, and you just have to continue learning how to cultivate greater balance. Okay, the Justice card coming out is saying this is an opportunity for you to really slow down and sweeten in the experience of the now. Yes, we want to be in our service of mission service. Like it really just made me very sad to say, you know what? I'm canceling sacred circles indefinitely. Monthly sound circle, monthly women's temple, monthly craft night. Okay, I love hosting circles. It nourishes my soul. But my foundation is not there right now. I'm in transition. So I don't have the space, quite literally, to offer these sacred circles. Okay? So it's like we got to really get into the basics of our foundations. I pulled a card from the tarot today about my guidance for today. And the question that the Medicine Woman Tarot was offering is like, what are 3 things that you absolutely cannot live without? Stability, security, right? A house. Like we need shelter. We need a safe space to come home and rest in. My second thing was hot water. Mama needs a hot shower, sometimes twice a day. It is what helps ground me back into my body. Okay? And then the third is I need space to walk and pray. Okay? If I don't have space to walk and pray, to just walk and process, to walk and feel my emotions, to move my body, I go crazy. I've lived in small, cramped, cluttered places before. It is not good for my psyche. It makes me cray-cray. So this is what you're being asked to. You're being asked to look at what are the 3 absolutely essential things you need just to get you in a place where you are not overwhelmed, when you are not overloaded, when you can just breathe and feel that divine trust coursing through you. This is how you build spiritual stamina. By Brat Venus, thank you for the follow. Chelsea, thank you for joining. This is how you build spiritual stamina, by assessing moment by moment where you are and are not in balance. If you're not in balance, the universe is going to say, hold on, they got to reset, recalibrate before we can give them the next thing. God is not going to give you what you're asking for and more when you're juggling all of these things in your hands and your hands are too full. Like, your hands are full. Whether they're literally full or metaphorically full, your hands are full. You're full of anxiety. You're full of doubt. You're full of fear. You're full of I don't know how. Let go of the I don't know how. This is that practice of divine trust. This is what it means to be a way shower. It means that you are creating a way that has never been seen before, that has never been done before. And yes, many of us are on a similar timeline, and this is why communicating with you and checking in with you weekly is so vital and important, and why I'm showing up. My pain body is so high today. High, ridiculous. My thumbs and my forefingers hurt so much. Like, even holding this cup is just sending shooting pain down my arms. Guess what? I'm still going to show up. I'm like, okay, physical body is really not cooperating today, but you know what? My heart is at peace. My mind is clear. I've done everything I can. I've got some guidance on what to do. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to keep showing up. I'm just going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep cultivating balance, because when you're balanced, then there's space for you to receive, right? When you're balanced, there's room for you to accept. There's spaciousness for you to actually process what's happening in your situation. You're in touch with your intuition. In this time where the darkness is like majorly lashing out, okay? And as we go towards the end of the week, we're gonna see some upset in terms of coming from energies and beings who don't want to grow up, who want to stay in their density and in their delusion. Okay, we're gonna see some major tantrums by the end of the week, both in our personal lives and on the global stage. We just had a major tantrum happen last week with that attempted assassination. I'm not gonna go deep into it, but this is the darkness lashing out. Okay, you don't know who's here as a wayshower. Do not judge a book by its cover. I had somebody tell me last week, they're like, oh, you don't look like an elder. I don't have to respect you. And I'm like, excuse me? They're like, yeah, you're not old. So I need to be old and wrinkly and have like long gray braids or dreadlocks and just like be carrying a shaker and a walking stick around. You know, like, look at your perceptions and ask yourself, is this a perspective or is this a deep understanding? There is a difference between having the perspective, okay, maybe, you know, this might be it. And then there's a difference between perceiving, like, okay, here's an example. Like, you perceive that, okay, for example, you're at a park, okay? You're at a park and you're walking and you see some flowers at the base of a tree. You might perceive, oh, that's trash. Somebody just littered. But the person who just walked right before you looks at that and sees prayers, because they are tapped in, they're tuned in. They're like, wow, somebody brought prayers to that tree and offered flowers to that tree. So it's about really starting to get clear on what is perception and what is a deep knowing of what is going on around you. Okay? There's a perception of all of this war and chaos happening, especially in the East right now. Yes, that's very real. That's happening. What's really going on, though? Old wounds of Adam, Eve, and Lilith coming out to be processed, to be alchemized, to be neutralized once and for all. Of course, it's happening in the Middle East right now. It's shitty. It sucks. But can we look from the higher perspective? And we can only see from the higher perspective when we are centered within ourselves, when we are balanced within ourselves, when we are taking care and nurturing our needs first. The second card that came out was the Empress. When you are centered within yourself, when you are your own mother, your own divine nurturer, you are doing everything to take care of yourself, that's how you step into that balance. That's how you have that spaciousness for the next step. Final card, Two of Cups, coming into deeper union within yourself, okay? There's a war happening. There's major spiritual warfare happening. There's a warring of the duality. The darkness has been running rampant for so long that now that justice, Lady Justice has awakened. It's like, no, your time is done. Okay? Those addictions, those patterns, those tendencies, those inclinations to go back to the old familiar cycle. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's a good opportunity, but I don't know how I'm going to move to that city. I don't know if I'm going to make any friends there. I don't know if they're going to have my favorite grocery shop around the corner. I don't know. But then everything in your soul is like, take the step. The outside world is changing. Okay? That grocery store that you love so much may not be there tomorrow. So stop attaching yourself to the comforts of your external environment and start strengthening in the comfort of your connection with your higher self. Start nurturing and really devoting into nourishing your spiritual muscle. Because the external environment is going to be changing over the next few months, over the next few years. The world as we know it is going to be looking different over the next few years. You cannot rely on the external world to validate you and to show you the way. That's that old distortion that's falling away. Yoshi said Lady Justice is blind, but I believe we can restore her sight. Let me say something about Lady Justice. Okay, Lady Justice is not blind. In this tarot deck, the Hermetica, she's not blindfolded. Guess what? The blindfold was placed on her by patriarchal nonsense to create an illusion that the feminine can't see without help. Guess what? The feminine sight is in her. Yes, the patriarchy may have blindfolded Lady Justice, and that's how we all see, oh, she's blind. And yes, there's symbolism behind that of like, okay, you know, we discern, we tap into our discernment to feel what is true, because truth is singular, the versions of many. Okay? So how do we restore the sight of Lady Justice? How we take that blind? We got to take our own blindfolds off. We got to say no to the patriarchal conditioning and programming. We got to say no to the power plays of the quote-unquote white man. And I'm saying quote-unquote white man because it's not just the white man. Okay? Over the last few weeks, I've been humbled. I've been coming to face with my own entitlement. That I was like, I don't have entitlement. I'm a brown woman. Oh no, I've been shown. Okay? Part of being a wayshower is humility. Humility to admit that we don't fucking know everything. That what we know may be distorted by our own experiences, by well-meaning, shares by our community. This is why it's so important to take that blindfold off and see for ourselves. And we cannot see clearly when we're starving, when our body is hungry, when our body is overworked and under-rested, when we're not sure where, the shelter is. That's been my tough one right now. That's my tough one right now. One of my primary needs, all of our primary needs, is shelter. Yeah, I'm in this house right now, but it's not home. The homeowner makes it very evident several times a week that I'm not welcome here. I'm not going to allow it to affect my peace. Call your power back to me. I call my power back to me. I call my power back to me. I am not blind. I am not blind. I see clearly. I see within me. I see what God is doing. I see my purpose in this world. I see the importance of me standing in my integrity, even if that means being silent while people are trashing your sacred prayers. I have been insulted so deeply in the past few weeks in this house. Or rather, my prayers, my devotion to God, my altars have been desecrated. I do not play. I'm just like, step back, focus on what I am doing. What am I doing? I've been spending a lot of time in dream work. I spent 6 days in Stonehenge in dream work last week, repairing the threads, communing with the stone elders. The mountains are waking up. The stones are talking. Oh, they've been talking real heavy to me in dreamlight, and they're fucking pissed. Okay? They are fucking pissed. Mountains have just been eroded to create pathways for roads and to create these playpens for these children who just feel entitled, children in adult bodies who feel entitled to just like take up the land. Oh yeah, Silky Rose, blessings to you. My ancestors are on the warpath. Oh, I feel it. Oh, fuck. Last week, after everything that went down, I was seething for a few days. I sent out a blog post last night where I talk about it. I was seething for a few days, but nobody would have known that I was seething because I make sure to stay in my discipline and my routines. Multiple times in this house, I was asked to compromise my faith, to be flexible with my time for prayer. I'm like, that's not negotiable. When I sit down to pray, I have 2 times a day where I sit down. I literally have alarm set. That is my soul contract with God. Hold the course, Silky Rose says. That is exactly right. You got to really stick with your routines, with your disciplines, with your devotions, even when shit's flying at you sideways. This is a huge aspect of your mastery, is developing that spiritual muscle. Until you develop that spiritual muscle, you are not going to be given your next level. Because as you continue leveling up, as you continue growing in your power, you are given more responsibility. And there are certain things where you don't get second chances. It's like surgery level work, okay? Like surgeons, it's like life and death for them when they're at the table, most of the time. Even, low risk procedures have the risk of death. That's why you sign the fucking waiver. Can you imagine a world where we had to sign a waiver every day when we wake up for the words we speak? Be careful of what you say because, something that you say today could create a typhoon somewhere else, could kill somebody across the world. Wait, what? It'd make you think twice. It'd make you think twice about the way you speak and the choices you make and what you put in your body and what you surround yourself with. This is the invitation right now. Really, really think about how you, as a wayshower, as a leader in your own sovereign right, hold an immense amount of responsibility for the way that we are shifting this timeline. And the more you come into that harmony, that 2 of Cups within you, you like embrace your darkness and you know when to wield it. Now's not the time for me to spit fire at what? The dumb? The stupid? No, it's not going to go anywhere. It's just going to drain me. It's going to exhaust me. It's going to deplete me. It's not going to do anything. So what do? I go and pray. I go lay down, take a nap, and I go into the dreaming. What can I do in the dreaming world? That's where my focus and my strength has been over the past week. It was really hard, even in dreaming. I kept being pulled out of this fucking Stonehenge onto this calm lake on a kayak. I'm like, no. Yeah, I would love to just lay here on a kayak and rest. But no, I have to go and do this fucking work at the Stonehenge with the elders. And why am I able to do this work? Because I have developed the spiritual muscle for the last 8 years. I had to develop this for years. I've lost count of how many times my altars have been desecrated in this timeline alone. How many times I have been called names for my prayers to God and the different really low vibrational things I've been called. for having this unshakable faith, for trusting in, even from my own mother. Okay? The attacks are going to come in. The more you step into your power, you're going to be tested. But the testing is tempering. It's strengthening you. So again, Empress energy, take care of your physical body. Eat right. Drink water. Get adequate rest. Take those extra naps. Go walk in the sun. Go take a walk around the neighborhood. Follow that intuitive ping that tells you to go do something, even if it's against everything that you're doing, because that is what you need to be doing right now. You need to be developing that trust with your intuition and really strengthening the physical body so that then you can strengthen your spiritual muscle. You feel me? Okay, let's get one final message from the tarot for our beautiful collective today. Beautiful collective of Wayshowers. Hope, thanks for joining. King of Pentacles. Strengthen your foundations. Strengthen your foundations. Okay? If your physical foundation is a little rocky like mine is right now, that's okay. The Mother Earth has you. We have each other. Okay? The more you show up for yourself, you show up here on the lives or the replays, you connect with me, you connect with other like-minded beings, it's like, oh damn, we are doing this work in different forms. But the more we come together, guess what? Our light grows. It's not just one candle anymore. It's like 17 candles in a room. Woo, shit's bright. Guess what the light does? It attracts the moths. Thank you, moths, for confirming that my light is shining. Thank you, triggers. Thank you, bullshit that's coming at me. That's confirming that my light is shining, that I am doing the work. Oh, damn. These attacks coming in is just confirming that you are holding the course, that you are developing that spiritual muscle. And eventually, it'll just not exist in your reality anymore because you will have developed that layer that just naturally repels. Like, there are certain energies that just don't come into my life anymore. I'll give you an example. Highly sensitive empath over here. Okay? A few years ago, I could not leave the house without somebody or the other coming at me and trauma dumping. Like, oh my gosh, I have to tell you this thing that happened to me. I've never told anyone, but you just feel like a really safe place. I would say, okay. And I would just sit there and I would listen. And in my delusion and my distortion, I was like, yeah, I'm being of service. I'm holding space. I'm listening. It doesn't cost me anything. When all I wanted to do was just fucking get home. I'm at the grocery store getting groceries. I'm not here holding a fucking session or a circle. I'm just getting my goddamn groceries. And this person just comes and trauma dumps all over me. Until I learned how to have respect for myself. Until I learned how to recognize and hold my energetic boundaries of, I'm going to the store to get groceries. This is not a time for people to come at me and trauma dump. Guess what? That doesn't happen anymore. But I had to really develop that within myself. I had to use my words. Excuse me. Can you please take your conversation elsewhere? I was at a bar a few weeks ago. I was sitting there coloring this yoni mandala. I know, a yoni mandala. It was fucking awesome. In a bar. And my friend came and sat down next to me, and I'm just doing thing. And then this drunk guy, he comes and sits next to us, and he's just like talking to her right across from me. And I looked at him and I said, excuse me, I'm not willing to engage in this conversation. Can you please go sit next to her or take your conversation elsewhere? And he just looked at me. He's like, this is a bar. And I'm like, yeah, and I was sitting here first near my personal space. He got up and walked away. You have to hold your boundaries. You have to learn about when you are in a place to be of service and when you're just fucking existing. You're just lifing. You're just doing your own thing. Whether you're doing your chores, whether you're doing your errands, whether you're having fun, it doesn't matter. You have to learn your body. That's what the Empress energy is about. Learning how to be your own sovereign. Learning how to take care of yourself, how to nurture yourself. Rapture now. Thank you for joining. Okay? We create our own ascension through our own self-mastery. And as we develop and strengthen in our self-mastery, we're going to be up-leveled and upgraded. Okay? My whole shit show that went down with the house, I'm pretty sure I talked about it, but that evening that I got evicted because he basically said, obey my rules or else, at 11 o'clock at night, barking this ridiculous new house rule at me, I'm like, I got a little bratty. I was like, if you're going to hold me to that standard, I'm going to hold you to that standard. He's like, no, I can do whatever I want. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to listen and obey your ridiculous rule to not put jars on the kitchen counter. He's like, well, you better obey my rules or you're evicted. I was like, oh, okay. The conversation's now over. Don't feed into the petty bullshit. Don't feed into the power play. A few hours before that whole thing went down, I was in a deep meditation and I got a major upgrade to my light body. Major. I was up in the 17th chakra body from fucking 13. And a few hours later, I'm evicted. Okay, all right. Nice try. Nice try to try and get me to like get upset. And yes, in the moment, I definitely got a little spicy. I don't respond well to being barked at, especially at the end of the day. When I was just like, it was the end of the day, okay? Like, I'm not making excuses for myself. I'm just a fucking human also at the end of the day, right? I'm not always going to be like Zen, the Buddha. But after that night, I stayed within my peace. I was like, oh shit. Everything's falling into place for me. And I've just been staying in my shanti, staying in my peace. So hold your course. Develop your inner strength. Do your self-care. If there's resistance, you need it more. I've been feeling a lot of resistance over the past few days and sitting down and meditating, especially because I don't have temples set up. And all these excuses are in my head of like, oh, you don't have temples set up, so you don't need to meditate. It's like, no, that means I need to meditate more. I'm going to take a walk. I'm going to do a headstand, do some yoga, do some movement flow, do my fucking dishes and meditate. Whatever it is, I'm going to sit and meditate. Especially because there's this chaos around me. So, how are you developing your spiritual strength and your stamina today? How are you creating a physical container that is strong, that is healthy, that is aligned, so that you can develop the spiritual stamina? I want to know. Drop it down in the comments. Okay? So, strengthen your inner foundation, and that stabilizes your external foundation. Okay, my darlings? That's the final message from you. From you. Interesting. From you. Yeah, I guess, everything's coming in through your higher self. We are but expressions of the divine. All right, so that concludes the general energy forecast for today. Who's here and wants a card? I got space for 2. Okay, I got space for 2. You get a tarot or an animal spirit. Okay, blue says me. What's your I question, or do you want an animal spirit? Please, okay, please what? Like tarot? Animal spirit? I'm gonna go with animal spirit. Okay, blue, your animal spirit is koala. Spirit has a plan. Trust the process. Make time to play. Make time to take a nap, okay? Koalas, they love to sleep, okay? So, immediately what I got is, you know what? Dear Blue, chill the fuck out. Okay? Spirit has a plan, okay? In nature, the koala moves slowly through the branches of the eucalyptus tree, leisurely chewing the leaves, reminding us that life is not a race or a competition. Chasing around after every distraction can keep you from recognizing that you have all that you need. You're being asked to trust by moving slowly, okay, with faith in the abundance that is everywhere, okay, with surrendering to a power greater than yourself. Take your time to enjoy this present moment, okay? And then you begin to radiate the joy and abundance that you seek, because you are that. This is like the animal spirit for the freaking day and the message that I've been talking about. Slow down, enjoy the process. Spirit's got a plan. Develop that divine trust. Holy bananas. I can't even. I'm pretty sure this is not just a message for you, Blue. This is also a message for me, okay? And for a couple of you out here, okay? So we're going to take the koala spirit for all of us as a reminder to chill the fuck out and trust that all is well. Yeah. Ha 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 ha. Blue, you funny. You crack me up. Are those blueberries? No, that was a koala emoji. So cute. Okay, one more. Animal spirit for one more person. You know, we're all feeling good and empowered. We got all the messages. Okay, let's get an animal spirit for the collective to close today's reading. Y'all just watch me shuffle. Look at this card, what it says. 29. See the bigger picture. What? I'm done, y'all. I'm done. I can't even with these cards right now. Giraffe is saying, see the bigger picture. Don't let the bullshit that's going down around you to distract you from the bigger picture. Aren't the cards so pretty? I know. I love this little, and I love that it comes in this cute little metal tin. I take this deck pretty much everywhere I go. So cute. But look, the giraffe spirit is reminding us that in all aspects of life, stretch your neck out and broaden your view. Open your eyes to what others need or are experiencing and see the bigger picture you fit into. Okay? Part of developing our spiritual muscle is stepping into the eyes of another. Whether that's the eyes of a tree, the eyes of a flower, the eyes of a bead, the eyes of a rock. When was the last time you just laid down on the ground and thought about what it's like for an ant? Holy shit, it's a big fucking world for an ant. Okay? I remember when I was going through my shaman medicine woman training, there was a meditation that one of my elders taught me. He took me out into the woods. He found this big flat rock in the middle of nowhere, and he's like, you're going to sit here until you become the rock. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, sit and meditate and become one with the rock. I'm like, what the fuck? But I did it. Took me almost 3 hours, but then I dissolved into the rock, and I was like, wow, my life changed. I'm like, there is so much life in this rock, the strength, the power. There's life in that rock. There's actually animals living in that rock, little critters and bugs that we don't see because we just see a big dumb rock. It's not a big dumb rock. The big dumb rock is the fucking brain that doesn't want to see things from another perspective. So perhaps this might be a meditation that can support you this week, okay? Go and sit under or on a rock, okay? It's summer where I'm at, so go find a nice big rock on a body of water, swim out to it, and just sit there and dissolve into the rock. Become still like the rock. Let the creatures and crawlies come all over you like they do on a rock. They're not going to bite you. They're just crossing you like a little rock. Like, oh, look, it's a little path for the little creepy crawlers. Oh, that was hard. That was hard for me to not move and just flick them off. Fuck off. What are you doing? Disturbing my peace? Get off me. Wait, I'm the rock. I'm not a human. I don't have the same sensations as a human do. Your perspective starts to shift when you intentionally meditate through the lens of another. And if you've ever laid on the grass and just kind of stared up at the clouds and just kind of gotten lost in the clouds, that's a little bit of a cloud meditation right there. You just become formless and shapeless like the clouds. Okay? Lay there on the ground and look at a flower and just look how beautiful she is, how much she trusts in life to provide the sun and the water that helps her grow and blossom into her beauty. Okay? So the giraffe is saying that no matter how great your wisdom, your knowledge, or your experience, you do not want to overlook details and connections that will help you better understand yourself and your circumstances. So stretch yourself. Okay, this is part of that spiritual muscle. Spiritual muscle is about really seeing everything through the eyes of God. And that's really hard when bullshit's being thrown at you. It's like, how is this divine? Well, it may not be divine, but perhaps it's the balance. It's that duality, right? And that duality in itself is divine. Now, there is some cock of bullshit out there, okay? There is some cock of bullshit out there. Not all of it is divine. Some of it is crap. Some of it is evil, okay? I'm not saying it's all divine, but the majority of what's going on is divine, even if we may not see it that way, okay? So look beyond what catches your attention at eye level and know that not everything is as obvious as you might like it to be. One of the teachings that I received in a past life, I was a Shaolin monk in a past life, and one of the things that they do, that I remember that they did while I was in that Shaolin monk training, was for 3 years, they blindfold the students. They literally blindfold the students for 3 years. You're not allowed to take your blindfold off, ever. For sleep, for shitting, for showering, you have a blindfold on for 3 years. You learn how to see without your eyes. That's what makes them so fucking good. When they're small, when they're young, because Shaolin monks start training at a very young age. Kai girl, thanks for the follow. Okay, they will literally blindfold you. So maybe that's a meditation that can help you. Okay, just put a blindfold on or put a mask on, an eye mask, and just sit there for 15 minutes and see what that sensory deprivation does for you. Okay? So, see things from a bigger perspective. And the koala spirit, I put it back in the deck, but that was so fucking hilarious. Like, I just bust out laughing. It's so funny. So, spirit has a plan, and your job is to just be in alignment. And if you're not in alignment, get back into alignment. Okay? Alrighty? So, those are the messages that I have for you all today. Thank you so much for joining live. Thank you so much for catching the replay. As always, it is a pleasure, a blessing, an honor to connect with all of you beautiful sovereign souls. Let's take a breath. Inhale. Ground all these messages in. Ground it all in. Exhale. Let it go. One more sweet, soft inhale. Feel the peace that is your heart, the clarity of your mind, the strength of your body, the power of your soul, the support of the multiverse. Exhale, drop into that. Thank you for being here. Until we meet again, take care of your beautiful selves. Nourish, hydrate, breathe, get some sunshine, meditate, journal, dance. Remember, you are love, here to love, and to be loved. Bye for now.